Starting round 1. Question for player Rajani. What is the meaning of sagacious? Options are Option A. Fearful. Option B. Foolish. Option C. Why? Incorrect answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. What is the meaning of fastidious? Options are Option A. Rapper. Incorrect answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. What is the meaning of nefarious? Options are Option A. Famous. Option B. Wicked. Option C. Curious. Option Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What is the meaning of austere? Options are Option A. Severe. Option B. Decorated. Option C. Cheerful. Option D. Well. Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. What is the meaning of pulchritude? Options are Option A. Beauty. Option B. Clumsiness. Option C.
Question
hatred.
for player Rajani.
Option
What is
D.
the meaning of pulchritude?
Incorrect answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. What is the meaning of voracious? Options are Option A. Fearful. Option B. Truthful. Option C. Insatiable. Option D. Slow. Incorrect answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. What is the meaning of benevolent? Options are Option A. Quick. Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What is the meaning of placate? Options are Option A. Aggravate. Option B. Soothe. Option C. Locate. Incorrect answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. What is the meaning of rancor? Options. Correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. What is the meaning of pensive? Options are Correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. What is the meaning of epiphany? Options are Option A. Sudden realization. Option Incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What is the meaning of avaricious? Options are Option A. Artistic. Option B. Greedy. Option C. Brave. Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. What is the meaning of anachronism? Options are Correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. What is the meaning of superfluous? Options are Option A. Essential. Option B. Unnecessary. Option C. Incorrect answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. What is the meaning of fortuitous? Options are Option A. Planned. Option B. Accidental. Option C. Brave. Incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What is the meaning of assiduous? Options are Option A. Diligent. Option B. Rude. Option C. Careless. Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. What is the meaning of vicissitude? Options are Option A. Stagnation. Option B. Alteration. Option C. Evil. Incorrect answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. What is the meaning of alacrity? Options are correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. What is the meaning of innovate? Options are option A excite, option B weaken, option C support, option incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What is the meaning of resilient? Correct answer by Purva. Here is the current leaderboard. Rank 1, Purva Mohanmiao with score 40. Rank 2, Dharani with score 20. Rank 2, Rajam with starting round 2. Question for player Rajani. In what country is the ancient site known as the Rose Red City? Options are option A, Jordan, option B, Egypt. Timer expired before answer. Question for player Dharani. Which country is known as the land of the rising sun? Options are correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. This island on the mid-Atlantic ridge features volcanoes, glaciers, and the world's northernmost capital. Which country is it? Options are option correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. The Smoky Mountains are located in which country? Options are option A, England. Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. In what country is the ancient site known as the Rose Red City? Options are option A, Jordan, option B, Egypt. Timer expired before answer. Question for player Dharani. Which city is called the City of Light? Options are option A, London. Correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. Which city in the Netherlands has more canals than Venice and shares a similar intricate canal system? Options are option A, Rotterdam. Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. In which city would you find the Hollywood sign, a famous landmark? Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. Which South American country has Santiago as its capital city? Options are option A, Argentina, option B, Brazil, option C, Chile. Correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. What is the capital city of the island nation of Cyprus? Options are option A, Nicosia, option incorrect answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. What is the capital city of Armenia? Options are option A, Tbilisi, option B, Yerevan, option C, Baku. Incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. Which city serves as the capital of Nigeria? Incorrect answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. The Danube flows into which body of water? Options are Option A, Black Sea. Option B, incorrect answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. To see the Salar de Uyuni, world's largest salt flat, which country must you visit to see its stunning reflective surf? Incorrect answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. The river Sen runs through which capital city? Options are correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. Which ocean surrounds the island of Hawaii? Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. Excluding continents, which is the largest island in the world? Options are Option A, Borneo. Option B, Madagascar. Incorrect answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. Which of the 5 world oceans is the smallest and shallowest? Options are Option A, Indian Ocean. Correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. Which of these bodies of water is famously known for its extremely high salinity, allowing people to float easily? Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What is the name of the world's highest uninterrupted? Incorrect answer by Purva. Here is the current leaderboard. Rank 1, Purva Mohan Miao with score 70. Rank 2, Vajayanti S with score 60. Rank 3, Dharani with score 50. Starting round 3. Question for player Rajani. Which country was invaded by Germany in correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. Which major naval base in the United States was correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. The historical region of Mesopotamia was situated between the Tigris and what other river? Options are Option A, the Danube. Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. In the 14th century, which Eastern Mediterranean capital remained a foremost center for preserving? Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. What was the name of the systematic genocide of approximately 6 million European Jews by the Nazis and their collaborators? Correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. Who was the leader of Italy's fascist party during World War II? Options are correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. Which amendment to the Indian Constitution added the word socialist to its preamble, and in what year was this amendment enacted? Options are Option A. Incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What was the name of the secret police of Nazi Germany that Hitler used to suppress political opposition? Options are Option A, Wem. Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. Which Sultan was the first to cross the Vindhya Mountains and invade South India? Options are Option A, correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. The lion capital, which is the national emblem of India. Correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. Which Maratha leader was formally crowned as Chhatrapati at Raigad Fort in 1670? Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. Who was the famous ancient Indian physician of the Gupta era, often called the father of surgery? Options are Option A, Charaka. Incorrect answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. Who was the founder of the slave Mamluk dynasty and the first Sultan of Delhi? Correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. Kanishka the Great organized the fourth Buddhist council in which region? Options are Option A, Magadha. Incorrect answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. The capital of the Vijayanagara Empire, known for its magnificent ruins, is located in which modern-day town? Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. Akbar introduced which administrative system? Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. Which Gupta era scholar wrote the Pancha Siddhantika, a treatise on five? Incorrect answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. The Moti Masjid, Pearl Mosque. Incorrect answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. Which Chola ruler successfully invaded parts of the Srivijaya Empire in modern-day Indonesia and Malaysia? Options are Option A, Rajarat. Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. The famous dancing Shiva, Nataraj bronze statues reached their peak of artistic perfection under which dynasty? Options are correct answer by Purva. Here is the current leaderboard. Rank 1, Purva Mohanmiao with score 110. Rank 2, Vajayanti S with score 100. Rank Starting round 4. Question for player Rajani. Excluding the sun, which star appears brightest in Earth's night sky? Incorrect answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. Which planet in our solar system is recognized as having the most moons? Options are Option A, Jupiter. Option B, Saturn. Option Incorrect answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, and Oberon are the moons of blank planet. Options are Option A, Uranus. Incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What type of galaxy is the Andromeda galaxy? Options are Option A, elliptical galaxy. Option B, irregular galaxy. Option Correct answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. Who is widely regarded as the father of atomic energy for his groundbreaking work in nuclear physics and the development of Correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. In the 1970s, a physicist found gold samples in liquid helium exhibited zero electrical resistance. This discovery advanced research into which phenomenon? Correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti, who is widely recognized as the father of DNA fingerprinting in India for his pioneering work in developing and popularizing this technology within the country. Correct answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. Which ancient Greek mathematician and astronomer was the first woman to significantly lead the new Platonic school in Alexandria? Options are Option A. Incorrect answer by Purva. Question for player Rajani. Which of the following vegetables contains compounds that help stimulate the liver's detoxification enzymes? Options are Option A. Broccoli. Timer expired before answer. Question for player Dharani. Which of the following is the largest gland in the human body? Options. Correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. Which disease is caused by the inflammation of the liver? Options are Option A. Hepatitis. Incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. Located behind the stomach, this organ produces digestive enzymes and blood sugar regulating hormones like insulin. Which timer expired before answer. Question for player Rajani. Which of the following vegetables contains compounds that help stimulate the liver's detoxification enzymes? Options are Option A. Broccoli. Option B. Timer expired before answer. Question for player Dharani. The vibrant colors observed in the northern lights, Aurora Borealis. Correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. Which cognitive skill typically shows the earliest decline during normal, healthy aging? Options are Option A. Ability with numbers, numerical reason. Incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. Located behind the stomach, this organ produces digestive enzymes and blood sugar regulating hormones like insulin. Which organ is it? Timer expired before answer. Question for player Rajani. True or false? The higher the frequency of a sound wave, the lower. Correct answer by Rajani. Question for player Dharani. What happens to the pitch of a sound produced by a vibrating string if the tension in the string is increased? Options are Option A. The pitch. Correct answer by Dharani. Question for player Vyjayanti. What type of wave is sound? Options are: Option A, transverse wave. Option B, longitudinal wave. Incorrect answer by Vyjayanti. Question for player Purva. What happens to the wavelength of a sound wave if its frequency increases, assuming the speed of sound remains constant in the medium? Options are: Option A, it increases. Correct answer by Purva. The quiz has completed. Here is the final leaderboard. Rank 1, Purva Mohanmiao, with score 130. Rank 2, Dharani, with score 120. Rank 3,